After all said and done, the African Academy of Languages, ACALAN, the African Union's specialized language agency, carried out its activities for the year 2018 with January to December in review. ACALAN organized visibility and advocacy campaigns in member states within ministries of culture and education in a bid to make its activities and programs better known to the public and relevant stakeholders, as well as create more synergy and partnership for policy support. To start with, the meeting of the Scientific and Technical Committee was held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia on February 5 and 6, 2018. Relevant stakeholders were present. This was followed by the meeting of the Governing Board of ACALAN on February 7, 2018 in the AU headquarters, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Important stakeholders and partners were present. Amendments to ACALAN statutes were done, including resolutions and outcomes. Next was the meeting of the Assembly of Academicians of ACALAN on the 24th and 25th of July 2018 in Kigali, Rwanda, which had members of the Assembly of Academicians of ACALAN and the Secretariat as participants. ACALAN was part of the third session of the Specialized Technical Committee on Youth, Culture and Sports that took place in Algiers, Algeria from the 21st to 25th October 2018 with the theme Role of African Youth in Building a Strong Culture Towards Fighting Against Corruption. Concerned stakeholders were not left out. 2 operational workshops were held in the course of 2018. The first was to establish the Ewe, Songhai and Soninke Vehicular Cross-Border Language Commissions. It was organized in collaboration with the Center for Linguistic and Historical Studies of Oral Tradition, CELTO, in Niamey, Niger. While the second workshop, which took place in Kigali, Rwanda, was to establish the Sango and Isizulu Commissions. It was organized in collaboration with the Rwandan Academy of Languages and Culture, and it took place between the 21st and 23rd of December 2018. Furthermore, ACALAN organized 2 workshops on the Linguistic Atlas of Africa for the ECOWAS region and the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. The first was a planning workshop on the 5th and 6th of June 2018 in Bamako, Mali, while the second was from the 31st of October to 2nd of November 2018 in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. A consultative and planning workshop on the Pan-African Center of Interpretation and Translation was held in Gaborone, Botswana on the 19th and 20th of June 2018. In addition, ACALAN organized a workshop on African languages and the cyberspace in Gaborone, Botswana on the 21st and 22nd of June 2018. A meeting of the Committee of the ACALAN Prize of Excellence for Literary Works in African Languages took place in Bamako, Mali on the 30th and 31st of August 2018. On September 20 and 21, 2018, ACALAN held a meeting with the regional institutions and organizations of culture and languages in Nairobi, Kenya. In the course of the year in review, ACALAN put together 2 workshops on harmonization of the writing systems of vehicular cross-border languages. The first took place between the 18th and 19th of October 2018 in Brazzaville, Congo, while the second was held in Kampala, Uganda from the 15th to the 17th of November 2018.
We are here to harmonize the writing systems of 5 vehicular cross-border languages. These are Kiswahili, Kinyarwanda, Kirundi, Luganda, Malagasy, and Somali vehicular cross-border languages. Now, the harmonization exercise is based on the writing system, the orthography of these languages. We want to harmonize differences in orthographic practices. We want to create a common alphabet and the writing system for each of the vehicular cross-border languages concerned, the 5 vehicular cross-border languages. We want to evaluate the different principles and the practices of the languages in our societies, and we want to develop a standard form of writing for each of the language so that materials produced in one country can be used in other countries, meaning to maximize resources and minimize costs. We want to develop harmonized rules of grammar as well, and make available and disseminate the harmonized rules of writing to the member states, to use them in the education system, to use them in our meetings, to use them as official languages, and etc.
Between the 10th and 11th of December 2018 at the headquarters of the Center for Research and Documentation on Oral Traditions and Development of African Languages, Sedotola, in Yaoundé, Cameroon, ACALAN, Sedotola, and the Center for Bantu Civilizations, CICIBA, jointly organized a workshop on the Linguistic Atlas of Central Africa. ACALAN held a consultative meeting with media practitioners from the African Union member states on the 27th and 28th of December 2018 in Kigali, Rwanda.
The importance of the media cannot be overemphasized. The media is transmitter, relating information. The media relates information to the general public. And no society can survive without communication. In essence, media workers are interpreters of information. They relate this information about society, about the nature of society, about human beings, and the main component, one of the major components of this communication process is our languages. And these languages are what we use in oral and written forms to extend, to relate, to transmit this information to our societies, to strengthen and support our democratic processes, our development activities, etc. Therefore, the media is very important for the African Academy of Languages, being African Union's language agency. As I said, our role, our principal role, is to develop and promote African languages so that we can use them in all domains of society, our society, including the media sector. Therefore, ACALAN deems it necessary to call media practitioners who are responsible for relating information in our society to collaborate with these media practitioners to work on our languages, to use African languages in our development process, in our information process, in our communication. This is why we are convening this workshop here, and this partnership is very important because information dissemination, we said, is almost indispensable in our development process. ACALAN has harmonized the writing systems of vehicular cross-border languages, and we want the sectors, the entities of our society to start using these harmonized rules, harmonized orthographies in our development program. This is why we are dealing with the media, and we continue to engage the media to conduct capacity building activities and to use them, to collaborate with them to develop our languages and to use them in our development process.
In 2018, the acting executive secretary represented ACALAN at the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, Year of Indigenous Languages 2019 in New York, USA. It is not how far, but how well. In view of these aforementioned, ACALAN established 5 vehicular cross-border language commissions in 2018, had 5 national structures designated by member states to serve as national focal points of ACALAN, totaling 30 national structures in the member states of the African Union. harmonized the writing systems of 8 vehicular cross-border languages, launched a Pan-African School of Interpretation and Translation, progressed enormously on the Linguistic Atlas project, attended the Specialized Technical Committee on Youth, Culture and Sports in Algiers in October 2018, where its proposition that January 24 to January 30 every year is marked as African Languages Week was adopted, established an online radio and TV platform to reach out to the rural communities in their languages, and increased its visibility in the member states.
We say at ACALAN that we need to use African languages in the education system. We need to use African languages as official languages in the member states of the African Union. We need to use African languages in the media. We need to produce newspapers. We need to read news on our televisions in African languages. We need to present African languages at 8 o'clock, not at 6 o'clock. We need to do that. African languages should not be relegated and their status. We need to put them at the at the forefront of our development activity. This is why we are here, because we are conscious of the fact that without African languages, we cannot go far. Without the use of African languages in our education system, we cannot go far. If you want to promote a language, as an official language or a language of instruction, you have to have a recognized alphabet, writing system, grammar. So this is what we try to do with the harmonization system. And we try to promote African languages in the cyberspace, and we try to create schools or centers of translation and interpretation.
Hence, many sectors of the African society are now aware of and involved in the activities of ACALAN.
We have come this far, even though the TV program is still very young, and we thank God for the impact the thing is making on the people of Africa. We are seeing reactions. I want to implore Africans, our leaders, even the generality. It's not just the leaders. Everybody is a leader anyway. We want to implore everyone to support us. To give us that support. And because when they give us the support, it gives us the strength to carry on, to move on. Again, we want to encourage our youth to key into this project by liking our page, helping us to spread the news onto everywhere, helping us to reach out onto the unreached, because we are not just going to stop at the online TV only. We are going to add online radio with it. We are going to engage other social media platforms, so that people can come to appreciate what they have, to appreciate their language, that in order to remove this belief that it is only those who are capable of using English, French or whatever that can make it in life. Now we are out to remove that from the minds of people, that even with our own language we can do better.
ACALAN will not rest on its oars in a bid to fulfill its mandate, realize its objectives, and provide necessary guidance to the formulation of policies favorable to the development and promotion of African languages. On behalf of the Commissioner for Social Affairs of the African Union Commission, Her Excellency Amira El Fadil, ACALAN hereby appreciates the participation of all members of its organs and working structures for their unfailing support. ACALAN is equally grateful to the parent Department of Social Affairs, especially the Division of Culture, for the continuous support and assistance. No doubt, cultural development is inevitably one of the main factors of the sustainable development of a people. Therefore, the development of African languages as one of the main pillars of African culture is an indispensable factor of African integration and development. ACALAN is therefore urging leaders and policymakers to render the necessary support to her efforts, aimed at developing and promoting our values and culture, of which our languages are one of the main components.